Whoa, hey, you guys startled me. Anyways, welcome to the channel. I'm Mike. We got the Scout today, and today's video, we're just gonna kind of go over some of the stuff that I got in the Scout. I'm getting ready to go four-wheeling this weekend. Not anything crazy, not a multi-day trip or anything, just a day trip, but sometimes those day trips can last all day, right? If you know what I mean. So, we're going to, I'm just going to kind of take you through what I got in the Scout, what I normally take with me, just like on an everyday, this is what I'm doing. So I take this with me every day. So we're going to go through that, and I'll probably show you some stuff that everybody takes with them. And then there might be some things that not everybody takes with them. I don't know. But let me know down in the comments what kind of unique things you guys take with you on your trips that you don't think anybody else really takes with you. So, all right, let's get started. I'm gonna pop the back open. We'll kind of start looking at everything. One thing that I do have that I mean, a lot of Jeep guys have it because this is just a Jeep. I think it's called a lift gate LED. So this is a rear liftgate LED for a Jeep. I think it's JK, and it's got like the 12-volt plug, right? So it plugs in. It just plugs in, then it lights up. Has a remote. The little remote thing broke on it, so that doesn't work. I did have to cut off maybe like 6 inches of it or something because it was just a JK rear hatch is a lot bigger. So, all right, let's get started. So first thing, I'm just gonna start pulling stuff out. So first thing, you gotta have a snow scraper in Utah. You better have a snow scraper in every single vehicle. Not one for all of your vehicles. You should have one for one for each of your vehicles. I like this one. This is probably the dumbest thing that I got in here, but it works because it extends, so I can get, if I'm up front and I'm trying to get across, I can get all the way across. Anyways, in the wintertime, you should have one of these in your vehicle. I like it too because it collapses, and so it makes it nice and compact. Next thing we got some MREs, some emergency food. Anybody that's been in the military knows, like, these are not your daily meals. Anybody that eats these on the daily is crazy. But I got country captain chicken, which is terrible, actually, and cheese and veggie omelet. Those are terrible. I might have some different MREs. I'm actually gonna go look for some different MREs. All right, we're back. Thanks for coming back. Couple of things. Totally forgot my Monster this morning. Regular Monster, zero sugar, best Monster on the market, best energy drink on the market. It's got 160 milligrams of caffeine, so you can drink multiple of these a day. Still looking for that Monster sponsor. All right, so I found one other MRE. Beef patty. Let's see if you can see that. Beef patty, jalapeno pepper jack. This one's great. Lots of accessories that are phenomenal. Comes with barbecue sauce, jalapeno cheese spread. Comes with, I think it comes with Skittles maybe. And anybody that's eaten MREs knows that the accessories are what make the MRE. Sometimes you can get a terrible main meal, but the accessories make up for it. So there we go. We're gonna put the beef patty in here. All right. And I also grabbed, I took these out because I used them, but they're just the hand wipes, right? Like they're these things. These are called Grime Boss. I can't even remember where I got these, but these are just hand wipes. or if I have to work on something and get my hands dirty, I put those on. I have, this is not supposed to be in here, but this is an IFAC, individual first aid kit. This is like a little trauma pack. Really set up for like TCCC stuff, TECC stuff. So it's more along the lines of like massive bleeding. I do have an NPA in here, so airway, but massive bleeding. So it's got a compression bandage in there. It's got quick clot, that kind of stuff. So that's not normally in here. I have a regular first aid kit. All right, what? I've been taking this with me since I got it. If you guys want to watch the review on it, go back. The review is probably 6 months ago or something. But it's my air compressor. And it's one of these sweet dual cylinder air compressors. And it just connects to your battery. It's got some really nice heavy duty clips that connect to the battery. But I've started taking this with me. It is kind of heavy, but in the LS Scout, I don't really care. So also, the reason I take the air compressor with me, the reason I take my air compressor with me is because, especially right now in the snow, if we make it to some snow this weekend, you gotta deflate your tires a lot, let a lot of air out. I usually go like single digits in the snow, so like 8 psi, 9 psi, sometimes 10. You know, maybe I'll drop it down to 8, and the tires warm up as I'm driving, so it goes up to 10. But 8 to 10 psi in the snow, it gives me a really fat footprint, gives me a lot of traction in the snow, keeps me kind of up a little bit higher. But when I get back to the road, because I drive to the trail, which everybody should drive to the trail, I drive to the trail, I cannot drive home at 60, 70 miles an hour with 10 PSI. So I got this, and this fills up the 33 1050s in maybe like 2 minutes, from 10 to 30 PSI. All right, let's get this dangerous thing out of the way. That's my jack handle. And this, I used it, so it's not bolted down or anything. This is the Widowmaker, otherwise known as the high lift jack. I really like it, super versatile. I've had this one for 20 years, and I've used it 1,000 times. I've used it to change my own tire. I've used it as a winch. I've used it as a clamp. I've used it to push things apart, to pull things together. I've used it for everything. I like it. I probably will keep it. Is it safe? If you use it properly, it's safe-ish. It's safe-ish, let's say that. Is it dangerous? Absolutely, it's dangerous. This will hurt you. One of the things I did early on in my off-roading career, using a high lift, was I put my head in between the jack handle and the jack. Because, you know, sometimes you get crazy and you start pumping like this, and it came up and just nicked me in the face. And luckily it didn't break anything. Luckily I didn't mess up my moneymaker here. But yeah, so that's my high lift. I take that with me as well. A stool. This is my Marine Corps backpack. This is what I took with me all the time in the Marine Corps. This is great, super compact. I guess now that I have a Scout, I should probably take like a better chair. But this thing, it just pops out. Bam, you got a chair. Super compact. Has Velcro that doesn't work anymore. All right, next thing that I gotta say with that air compressor is I have my, what is it, Vehicle X tire repair kit. So it's just a plug kit. And I've had this one for a long time. And actually, you can see I've used some of the plugs. I have one pack of plugs left. I've used it a couple of times on my vehicle, a couple of times on other people's vehicle, but you have to have, if you get a flat, if you run over something and you got to patch the tire, it doesn't help to just have a compressor. You got to be able to patch the hole. With that being said, this is my Blackjack tire repair kit. And this is a lot more extensive of a tire repair kit. You can see, for one, it's just a lot bigger. But it comes with a ton of jerky. I don't know what else you call it. Patches, whatever, plugs. It comes with a ton of plugs. It comes with some massive reamers and a plug handle, which I really like. It comes with this, which is a Schrader valve core remover, and then just a screwdriver. But that works really well. Then the other thing that it comes with is a couple of different size. It comes with a couple of different size valve replacement pieces. Because sometimes you will, so it's got these two different ones. It's got a small one, you can see. So this one is a small diameter, this one's a larger diameter. And they fit, you tighten this piece, this little nut down, you tighten it down and it squishes the rubber out and fills up the hole. So depending on what size hole you have in your rim, for your Schrader valve. But if you've never ripped a Schrader valve off while you've been out four-wheeling, I mean, have you really been wheeling? Because I've ripped plenty off. I've hit some and it's cut them, but they haven't ripped out. So sometimes as you're driving, especially like once you get to high speed or something, and maybe the wind's pushing against it a little bit, it leaks out a little bit slower, or every time you hit something and it kind of pressurizes the tire a little bit more, it blows out. So anyways, these are great for repairing those messed up Schrader valves. And then the last thing it comes with, I thought it came with one more piece, but it does have just some soap to help the ream the hole. Oh yeah, there's one of them. It comes with some new Schrader valve cores in case you lose any, because when you're using this tool and you got it on the Schrader valve like this, right? And you take it out, if you're not careful and there's air in your tire and you take this tool off, this guy, gone. You will not find this guy. So the kit comes with, I think there's 4 or 5 of these in there. So along with the other Schrader valves. So yeah. So I really like this kit a lot better, and I've used it a lot more. Just because it's a little bit more expensive. All right, next thing, we got some recovery gear. I got my winch controller in here. Winch controller is easily accessible, right on top, not buried. If it's buried, if it's gone, if it's underneath the seat, if it's in a locked container, like, you're not going to use it. So I have mine easily accessible. I can have this out in a minute or two. And then I got my recovery strap, which this one's a Vehicle X1 also. And this one is amazing. It doesn't stretch. It's not a stretching strap. It's just a recovery strap. So it's a static line pull. Couple of shackles in here, D-rings. And then I do have a stretch and snatch, whatever you call it, recovery strap in here. So this one does stretch. It is a recovery Is it a recovery strap? It stretches and then comes back. Not like the Yankum or the Mats off-road ropes, but similar. It does stretch. This one does not stretch. But it's great for towing. Great for towing if you break down and need to be towed across the salt flats. Like I have had to have that happen to me. So, but with everything, keep it organized, keep it together, and keep it where you can get it, or else you're not going to use it. All right, and then kind of the last thing, I have this awesome Titan tool bag from Brennan's Garage. And I just have, I'm not going to take all the tools out. Take the tools that you need to work on your vehicle. I have metric bolts on the LS engine, so I need metric wrenches for that. And then the rest of the Scout is standard, so I need standard wrenches for that. So I carry metric and standard, sockets, wrenches, adjustable end wrenches, everything. So I have a hammer in here, I got my tool roll, I got my lug nut socket. This is the specific socket that fits on my lug nuts if I need to change a tire. Any other specific tools in here? I do have gloves, just in case, you know, sometimes you just want gloves to work on stuff. I have gloves in my recovery kit too for when you're working with the straps and stuff, but take tools with you, be able to fix your stuff, be able to recover yourself. I have electrical stuff in here, I have tools, kind of a little bit of everything. Another thing I keep, this is my cold weather gear, and it's in a waterproof bag, an earth pack, I don't know, 30 liter. So you can see that's how big it is. But I have all my cold weather gear in here, and I have extra. I have a blanket, I have a raincoat, a rain poncho, pants, maybe like a fleece vest, and then a big winter coat and a big winter pants. And it all compresses down. I mean, you can see this thing, it's pretty tight. I could probably compress it down a little bit more, but it's pretty tight. I fit all of that in here. And I take that because I hate being cold. So if I'm going wheeling in the winter, I always have this with me. And that usually just rides in the back. I don't know how it ended up on the seat. I don't always bring my trailer hitch. I think I was towing my trailer with it. I'll leave it in here, but I don't normally bring that. All right, and the last two things I bring is I bring this is kind of a, somebody gave this to me. It was a 2-pack. It's a fire extinguisher in a can. And it's like a one-time use thing. But it puts out ABC fires, and it's this big. So I have 2 regular fire extinguishers, but I also have this. It works amazing. I haven't ever had to use this on a vehicle, but I have used this to test it out, to see if it even works. Because you got to see if it works, right? I don't want to carry something that's not going to work. So I've put out some fires with this. And then this is my first aid kit. It's not, I mean, it's not the biggest first aid kit, right? And it's not, I don't have like advanced life support stuff in here. But I have stuff to stop massive bleeding. I have some airway stuff. But I also just have, because when you're out on the trail, most injuries are not massive bleeding injuries, right? Most injuries are like, I cut my hand on a zip tie and now it's bleeding and I just need a bandage on it. Or, you know, sometimes you get broken bones. I've been out on trips. You guys have had broken bones, so we've had to splint it. that's not a life-threatening injury. You don't need life-threatening, life-saving materials for that kind of injury. But I did have like a SAM splint and an ACE bandage, so we used that. But most of this stuff, like I have a survival blanket in here. I have some burn cream, some just triple antibiotic cream, and they're all in these little individual pouches. Q-tips, alcohol, regular Band-Aids or bandages, you know, like just different various sizes. I got first aid tape, I got first aid gauze. So just kind of maybe a well-stocked first aid kit that's not super advanced, but so far it's worked for everything I've needed it to. I keep it restocked. I keep it refreshed. Some of that stuff goes bad and you got to, you know, it expires and you got to put new stuff in. So that's my first aid bag. And then obviously I got my trauma kit. And then that's about it for everything that I carry in my Scout on the daily when I just go on regular day trips or even overnight trips. But I carry this stuff with me all the time. The only time I don't carry it is when I'm like using the Scout for utility work, right? One last thing actually is I carry 5 extra gallons of fuel, and then in my cooler up there, I carry extra fluids also. So I have oil, gear oil, antifreeze, and brake fluid. So I carry extra food, extra fuel, and extra fluids. Those gas cans have nothing in it. So that's what I do. That's what I take. That's what I use on the trail. If you guys have any recommendations of what I should take with me or recommendations for things that I should switch up or try something different, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm always down for trying new gear, trying new tools, new techniques. I mean, that's where I got this. Somebody's like, hey, you should try these fire extinguishers, and I got this. So that's amazing. That's how I got the tire repair kit, you know, the plug kit. Somebody was like, hey, your kit's pretty good, but this kit's way better. So I went out and bought one. And I've used the heck out of it. So definitely let me know. All right, I'm going to pack this stuff up so we can go wheeling tomorrow. If you guys want to go wheeling with me ever, just hit me up. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Just shoot me a DM. If you know me, text me, and we'll go wheeling. But we're going to load this back up and get going.